The sun bled out over the Pacific, painting the horizon in orange and purple. Below, a city park by the sand cooled as evening set in. The air felt heavy, charged with an unspoken tension. Waves crashed with steady indifference, a contrast to the quiet anxiety in the city. Shadows from Norfolk pines stretched across lawns where families gathered. The fading light played tricks, every rustle, every distant figure seemed ominous. This was a place built for joy, but lately, a subtle disquiet had settled in. The city's pulse was erratic, a low fever of friction and global anxieties. The national terrorism threat level had quietly risen from possible to probable. For those paying attention, it confirmed the unease beneath daily life. Distant conflicts now felt uncomfortably close. As dusk deepened, park lights flickered on, casting islands of yellow in the dark. The city's usual sounds faded, replaced by the murmur of conversation and laughter. Children played, music drifted, and a community gathered, defiant against the chill and their unspoken fears. It was a fragile peace, but for a moment, it held. The park was alive with hope, even as night crept in. No one knew how quickly that peace would shatter. This was a Hanukkah celebration, drawing nearly 1,000 people to the park by the sea. Rabbis, community leaders, and families gathered, children's faces aglow by the giant menorah. It was a scene of tradition and resilience, a public declaration of joy despite rising anti-Semitism. The event took place under heightened strain. Incidents had surged since a distant war began. Security was visible but discreet. Officers patrolled, a reassurance and a reminder of danger. The decision to gather was an act of courage, a refusal to let fear win. Festive anticipation mixed with quiet vigilance. Friends embraced, stories were shared, and a Holocaust survivor watched, his eyes reflecting history. A young girl danced, her dress bright in the dimming light. The community was woven together in hope, unaware of the horror about to unfold. The celebration was a beacon, moments from being plunged into darkness. The night was about to change everything. Above the park, a concrete footbridge arched over the main road. From there, the entire gathering was visible, faces upturned, focused on the menorah. At 6:47 p.m., two figures appeared on the bridge, moving with deliberate purpose. Dressed in black, they carried long, dark objects, firearms, not cameras. Their posture was tense, their movements synchronized. They took up positions along the railing, overlooking the crowd. The sounds of music and laughter drifted up, oblivious to the threat above. The two men were silent, preparing. One held a rifle, the other a shotgun. A second shotgun lay nearby. The older man, a father, had legally acquired multiple firearms. They had told their family they were going fishing. Instead, they brought weapons, explosives, and black flags of hate. Father and son, united in a deadly purpose, raised their guns. The celebration below was about to become a target. The city held its breath, unaware. The first shot was seconds away. The first rifle crack echoed. Some thought it was a firework. Then came another shot and another. The illusion shattered. A scream cut through the music, panic rippling through the crowd. The gunman fired methodically, aiming into the mass of people. Victims fell. The dancing girl, the elderly survivor, a rabbi. Bullets rained down, deliberate and final. The crowd dissolved into chaos. People dropped, crawled, ran for cover. Screams and gunfire filled the air. The attackers reloaded, firing over 100 rounds. The park became a scene of carnage. Overturned chairs, scattered belongings, bodies on the grass. The celebration was over. A massacre had begun. The father and son fired with chilling detachment. The attack was planned for maximum devastation. The only sounds were gunshots and terror. The city's peace was shattered in minutes. The horror was total, the violence relentless. The festival of light was drowned in darkness. Survival became the only thought. Amid the chaos, a bystander ran toward the gunfire, not away. He charged up the bridge, confronting the younger gunman. Tackling him, he wrestled away the shotgun and turned it on the attacker. The son fell, shot by his own weapon. Another bystander kicked away a second gun, preventing further bloodshed. These were ordinary people, acting with extraordinary bravery. Their actions broke the attackers' deadly rhythm. The father, distracted by his son's fall, hesitated. Police arrived, storming the bridge as gunfire erupted. Officers engaged the elder gunman, who was still armed. He was shot multiple times, collapsing near his son. The shooting stopped. Silence fell over the bridge. The immediate threat was over, thanks to civilians and police alike. The park below was still chaos, but the killers were stopped. In moments of terror, courage had changed the outcome. The massacre ended by the bravery of a few. Sirens wailed as emergency vehicles flooded the scene. Paramedics rushed in, performing triage among the fallen. Police cordoned off the park, now a crime scene. Forensic teams documented every detail. Victims, shell casings, abandoned belongings. On the bridge, the father was dead. The son, critically wounded, was taken into custody. A search of their car revealed 2 improvised bombs. A third was found nearby. The bomb squad neutralized the devices, averting further disaster. The attackers had planned for even greater carnage. 16 people were dead, ages 10 to 87. Among them, 2 rabbis, an Israeli, a French tourist, a Slovak national. 43 were injured, including police officers. Hospitals enacted mass casualty protocols, working through the night. The city's medical system was stretched to its limits. The scale of the tragedy was overwhelming. Grief settled over the city as dawn broke. The park remained cordoned off, a silent memorial growing at its edge. Flowers, notes, and candles marked the loss. The Prime Minister condemned the attack as pure evil, a targeted act of anti-Semitic terror. Jewish centers and events closed. The community retreated behind locked doors. Leaders united, vowing stronger gun laws and a national firearms register. The attack exposed failures in a system thought secure. International solidarity poured in. The tragedy resonated worldwide. The city's sense of safety was shattered, its spirit wounded. Investigators quickly identified the attackers, a father and son, known to authorities. The son had been on the intelligence radar for years, linked to radical preachers and IS associates. Both pledged allegiance to IS. Their car held flags and bombs. The attack was anti-Semitic terror fueled by global hate. The family claimed ignorance, believing the pair were on a fishing trip. The case revealed how extremist ideology can poison even family bonds. Legally owned weapons had become tools of mass murder. 2 days later, the city is still reeling. The park stands as a silent monument to violence. For locals, the tragedy is a deep wound, not just a headline. The attack forced a reckoning with gun control, radicalization, and community trust. 16 lives lost, a 10-year-old girl, an 87-year-old survivor. Families forever changed. Public celebration now carries a shadow. The menorah's light was eclipsed by hate, but not extinguished. The story is one of horror, but also of courage. Bystanders, paramedics, a city united in grief. The echo of gunshots will linger, but so will the memory of bravery. In darkness, a flicker of hope remains. The city's healing has only just begun.